the channel from the Marvel Legends controller wave, we've got Thor and US Agent.
The spirit of the warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review as we begin unboxing the Marvel Legends controller wave here on the channel. And today we're starting it off with US Agent and Thor. But remember, for all your Marvel Legends needs and a whole lot more, hit up Zavi. Yes, Zavi. Use discount code Kyle Peterson to save 10%, and that's exactly what I did to pick up this Marvel Legends wave, as they don't seem to be everywhere quite yet. It's an interesting wave, slowly trickling out, I guess, kind of like the last X-Men wave. So we'll see when these hit natural retail how well they do, but we'll see how well they do here at the review table. And of course, we're going to do these unboxings like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see where it goes from there. So let's start it off with US Agent. Why not? An old favorite of mine. When I think of US Agent, I go all the way back to the early 90s, the Toy Biz Marvel Legends line, where they did that very cheap repaint of the Captain America figure into US Agent. But I always loved US Agent. He was like a little darker version of Captain America is what I always thought. And of course, he has really grown to fame recently with the Disney Plus series. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more US Agents in the world, in the Disney Plus waves, in the movies, things like that. But very cool to get a comic book style figure, as I do not have one. I couldn't believe, I thought for sure I had the comic book one. I do not have it, so this will be my first comic book one, at least in a long time, based on US Agent. But let's take a look at the packaging first, see what's doing here for the old Agent. We got the Build-A-Figure pieces in there. Of course, we got the shield, the hands, and the figure. We got Marvel, we got US Agent, Marvel Legends, all the usual suspect stuff. Nothing on the top, nothing, blank. There he is, little US Agent, giving the old salute on the side, very happy with a nice smiling face. Same one on the other side right there. And we get to the back of the package. Of course, we got the cross-sell down below. We'll be unboxing all these on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. Turn on the old notification bell, and then at the end of the week, I'm going to rank the wave from my least favorite to my favorite, and we will put together the controller Build-A-Figure. But there he is, US Agent once again at the top. And we got the blurb. Let's see what it has to say about old US Agent. Originally appointed by the U.S. government to replace Steve Rogers as Captain America, U.S. Agent John Walker must balance his moral compass against his duty to his country. So there you go. Very patriotic as I'm filming this. It is 4th of July weekend, so a little bit patriotic for this U.S. Agent here. There's the background, a little star, or stars? How about sun? There it is. See you later, up high, goodbye. And plastic prison style for the old Agent of the U.S. And there he is, controller pieces, hands, all that stuff in the plastic prison. Let's pop it all out, get the shield out, Build-A-Figure pieces, 2 hands, plenty, maybe. Oh, that's got the tape with them. The tape's coming along for the ride. And finally, US Agent, and we're off. See you later. There it goes. All right, we got the controller pieces. Going to stick these to the corner. Like I said, at the end of the week, we'll talk all things controller, so stay tuned for that. Look at the hands here. We got 2 fists of fury on US Agent. You guys know I'm all about the fists. So he's got 2 fists here, and then he does have a gripping hand. Very interesting. Looks like he's got a little 0 right there. Look right through it. And then he's got the splayed out hand, very much like Captain America, who we'll compare him to here in a second. But very interesting hands right there. Then we get his shield of fury, and now we've seen these shields many a times. Got the hinge right here. Put it on his arm, put it in his back. Choose your own shield adventure. But then you got his shield. Not quite as iconic as Captain America's shield, but it is a shield for the US Agent, so we do have that. So there you go. Now we get down to the figure here. Now, like I said, I always loved US Agent, but very interesting how on the package they have him such smiling, so happy-go-lucky on the packaging, and then he's got nothing but a frowned face right here. He's real mad, like he's putting some walnuts in his cheek, and he's just not upset. He's very upset about it, I should say. So very different dynamic on the figure from the glamour shot. Makes him look more of a villain in this case here. But let's break down this figure a little bit. Of course, the head looks very Captain America-esque, as we know. He does have the wings at the very top in white, the black mask, the pale skin, the blue eyes here. Head can be moved up, down, all around. A lot of good movement out of this head. Actually, a ton of movement out of this head. A lot more than you would expect. Head is, of course, removable. You can pop it off if you are so inclined, if you want to move things around. These are always tough when you got that big hinge. There we go. Get it back on there. Good black paint throughout. I don't see any crossover. I don't see any spillage onto the white, onto the black, or anything like that. So good, clean paint apps as far as black goes. You do get the shoulders move up, down, all around like we're used to with Marvel Legends. Nothing really new there. We do get the bicep cut. We do get double jointed elbows, but we do have the pins in the joints. Always got to call that out. We got the red forearm thing that is sculpted in. And then you got the hands, of course, removable down to the fist. You get the good side-to-side hinge on that on the fist. Waist articulation, of course, we got waist. Of course, you got the big ab crunch. A few little spots in the ab crunch and some paint. But you do get the kind of U.S. agent flag there with the black star. Looking really good, looking sharp. And then he's got his belt buckle on in red with the little silver accents to kind of break up the monotony of the color. You do, of course, get the, not much splits out of this guy. Not much splits out of him. You do get the thigh cut, though. Double jointed knees. You do get the boot cut. Yep, it's right there. And then the ankle articulation, back, forth, up, and down. Very good ankle articulation. Legend's probably my favorite ankle articulation out of all the figures we get. But a very good-looking U.S. agent, one that's long overdue in the Marvel Legends waves right now. Let's check to see, does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? As I always say, use the Mattel ones and use discount code Kyle. Save 10% while you're there. These are my favorite stands for Marvel Legends, and of course he fits perfectly on there. Just got to square him up, but he definitely does fit on the Marvel or the Mattel ringside stands. Plug that in the back there, and you're U.S. agent. You're off to the races. A little bit of a plain Jane figure, but really good for your Avengers West Coast display, whatever you might want to do with him. This one works for me. This is probably going to be one of my favorite ones just because I do like U.S. Agent. I do go back in time with U.S. Agent figures, and I've been really anticipating this one for a while. So as plain as it is, this will be a favorite of mine, I have a feeling, in this controller wave. Of course, you got Captain America. It's always fun to compare these two. Similar but different, I guess you would say, is Captain America and U.S. Agent, which makes a lot of sense knowing their history and all that kind of stuff. But you can kind of compare these two next to each other. Obviously, this is the retro one that came out just recently, the anniversary edition Captain America. A lot more bells and whistles with this one, but some similarities, as you can imagine, as we've pointed out there. So there it is. There's the old agent of the U.S., U.S. Agent John Walker. Put him over here with Captain America. Now we turn our attention to an interesting one. We turn our attention to Thor, another guy everybody seems to know these days. And of course, we got the new Thor movie coming out in a matter of days as I'm filming this. So Thor, hysteria at an all-time high. Hit your targets. Your targets are swimming in Thor figures from the Love and Thunder wave. At least mine are. So I expect some of those to sell pretty good after the movie comes out. But this is a totally different Thor. This is a Thor I am not familiar with. I guess it's Herald of Galactus Thor, apparently. So we'll see what goes on with here, but there he is in the package. Now, this is the heaviest, biggest figure in the wave here for the controller, outside of the Build-A-Figure, of course. But you get the controller head, you get Mjolnir, you get the effect pieces, you get him, you get his ravens, and you get some hands. A lot going on in there. You get Thor down here, Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure controller, all that. Some cool artwork on the side for old Thor, looking good, looking very Thor-esque. And Thor on the other side, same artwork. And the back of the package, of course, we got the blurb, we got the cross-sell, we got the controller, we got the warnings, we got the UPCs, we got all that kind of fun stuff. Let's read the back. Let's see what it says about our old buddy Thor here. Thor does the unthinkable when he becomes the newest Herald of Galactus, aligning with the Great Devourer to stop an even greater threat. Well, I am not familiar with what that greater threat is, but we'll just pretend it's a real bad threat. There's that Thor hammer in the back there. Very cool, with a ray of sunshine around it. Yeah, we'll go this way, up high. See you later. There it goes. And then we get the plastic prison. There's a lot going on in here. This is more than meets the eye, like a young Transformer, but there he is in the plastic prison. Let's pop all this stuff out, get down to the old brass tacks, as like we like to say here. Pop out Thor. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, are we buckled in? No. Just gotta pull everything through, Kyle. There it is. And come on. Come on, last hand. Come on out. There it is. We're off to the races. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's break it down. Of course, we got the controller head here. Very interesting. Like I said, we'll break all that down in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. But let's break down some of these accessories first. He's got a gripping hand and a splayed out hand, and luckily he does come with two fisted hands. He is Thor after all. He should be able to swing a hammer and he should be able to throw a fist. Well, we're in luck. He's got two fists here to throw at anybody that deems throwing to. So there you go. We do get Mjolnir here, a very interesting version, no writing on this one. And like we see with a lot of translucent plastics, we get a little of that patented Jack sticky disease. This is a hair sticky, so FYI on that. I don't know what it is about this kind of plastic that kind of sweats, but this has got a little bit, so I got to think over time we're going to get more stickiness out of this. I hope not, but we've seen that with a lot of toy plastics over the years. Nice kind of almost see-through blue frosted handle here to a little darker top piece. Looks really, really good. It's like it's all charged up with effects, and of course you do get the effects. We've seen these effects a few times. You can put them on however you deem fit onto your hammer or his hands, however you want to do it, but you definitely got the effect piece there. So that's always cool. It's always cool. You can use these with other things if you are so inclined. Then we get these birds, and I assume these are ravens. And like I said, I am not familiar with this version of Thor, so I'm not really sure about this ravens and all how this goes down. But it does look really good, and this is one of those things that you could probably use with different action figures. You could mix this in, put this with some other stuff. If you're building a display diorama, you could use these with different toy lines if you're so inclined. You never know when you might need some birds on your display case. You never know when you might need some birds on your display case. But these look really good. You got one with his wings in, kind of just sitting and perched. And then you got one with the wings out. He's getting ready to take flight, all that. Really good pieces here. All one color, all both in black. No articulation to these or anything. But just a very cool accessory that, to my knowledge, we've never gotten before. So I like this. And like I said, I could see maybe they'll reuse this for some G.I. Joes or something down the line. There's no stopping them. They're under the Hasbro umbrella. Maybe that might work. Now we get down to old Thor here. We get down to Thor, and like I said, he is a bigger version of, or the biggest figure, I should say, in the wave outside of the Build-A-Figure. At least I assume as of right now. But he does have some good feel to him. He is a little bit girthy. He's girthy. There you go. But I love the cape on this. A lot more detail on the cape than I assumed there was going to be. Of course, you get the red on the back with some nice white piping there. But on the inside, you get the red with purple back in through there. And that looks really, really cool against that. Really melds with all the other colors that we got going on with this Thor. Very, very cool look. And very different look for Thor than what I am accustomed to, of course. I guess this is his Herald of Galactus days. This does actually look a lot better than the glamour shots that the Marvel Legends team showed us, at least in my opinion. I think this looks a lot better in hand. Very interesting. He's got that black strap, or whatever you want to call it, over his head there. To me, I thought that was actually a unibrow. I was like, what happened to Thor? He just let himself go, stopped getting manicured. So I am happy to report he does have eyebrows there, but they are very light. They are blonde, much like his hair. A very whitish blonde hair going on here. But nice shoulder gauntlets all over here. He's got kind of the chainmail going on underneath on the arms for Thor. And some nice spikes on here, like a Beast Man out of Masters of the Universe. We already talked about the hands. Articulation is the exact same as US Agent, just in a bigger variety here. But man, a lot of new pieces to this one. The spikes on the knees, of course. You get the boots with a very cool red kind of, I don't know what these are exactly. I guess just a mold around the boot. It's nothing, fancy, nothing removable or anything, but it does really help break up the color of the black. Looks really tight. Ankle articulation really good on this one as well, side to side, front and back. Really good. Then he does have his big sash going on, very much like a skirt, I guess we would say. But a very, very strong Thor figure. This is a lot stronger than I assumed it to be, and I'd probably even like this even more if I had some connection to the character, or at least I should say connection to this version of the character of Thor. Stick him on a ringside stand. Of course, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on those stands. Fits like an absolute glove. I do have the 80th anniversary. Was this the Walmart exclusive Thor? I just grabbed the first Thor I saw in my setup, and that was the one. But that's kind of an interesting dynamic. How things have changed over the years for Thor, as this is the one most of us know about. This is a new version of Thor, and this one is good because we do know we are getting Galactus very soon. The next 3-4 months, something like that, whatever it is. We got Galactus coming, so you want some more Heralds? Well, here's another one. We could stick a bunch of those guys around Galactus if you are so inclined to do that. But very, very interesting version of Thor. I know some people online have been calling it Fortnite Thor. And that kind of does work a little bit. So maybe mix it with your Fortnite figures. Who knows? Do whatever you want to do. As we always say on the channel, choose your own adventure. But looking really good. I like Thor. I like US Agent. Two characters I have history with. I have knowledge of. So it's always fun to get these guys back out in the line. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these. I can see some people passing on the Thor just because it's maybe not their version of Thor. Totally understandable, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell, follow along on Patreon for this video, many other videos much earlier, and of course, subscribe to the channel and SirPaul64, Twitter, of course, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. So for US Agent and Thor, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.